Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're zeroing in on September 16th, 2025. It's a day that, well, according to our sources, seems really ripe with opportunities for some profound personal shifts and maybe a deeper realignment with your true self. Just think about it for a second. Have you ever felt that quiet whisper inside? You know, that persistent little feeling nudging you to let go of something, even when you really can't see what's coming next. That internal compass kind of pointing towards change, way before your logical mind has any clue about the destination. Well, this deep dive is all about navigating exactly those kinds of feelings. We're looking at what we're calling celestial guidance and the path beyond for this specific date, really digging into the cosmic currents and the personal stories that can light up these big transformative moments. So to guide us, we've got three distinct sources today. They're separate, but actually they connect really beautifully. They're all from the Tarot by High C archives. First, we've got the daily astrological forecast. That should give us a sort of emotional roadmap for the day, chronologically. Then we're going to unpack the TarotScope.
It features the very evocative Eight of Cups. And finally, we'll dive into the StoryScope. It's this vivid story about a character named Amara who, well, bravely steps into the unknown.
Yeah, and our mission here for you is always to pull out more than just summaries. We want actionable insights and maybe some surprising connections between these different materials. We really want to help you understand not just what might be unfolding on this particular day, but crucially, how you can consciously engage with these energies. You know, how you can actually use this guidance for your own healing, for stepping more authentically onto your path, your evolving path. Think of it like a shortcut, maybe, a way to consciously co-create your day instead of just, reacting to whatever happens.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. So get ready to journey with us. We'll go from the day's potential emotional currents through that powerful message of courageous release, and hopefully find some real inspiration to embrace those brave steps into the beautiful, maybe sometimes daunting, unknown. Okay, let's dive in. Starting with the astrological forecast for September 16th, 2025. Right off the bat, our sources say emotions are surging. We're talking old insecurities, maybe even some lingering anger bubbling up. Sounds like a day where conversations could get complicated pretty easily. So a gentle touch with our words seems, well, not just advised, but essential. But here's where it gets really interesting. There are also clear, potent chances for deep healing if we're willing to be open, vulnerable about our feelings.
And what's fascinating is how that initial energy, it really sets the stage. It's a day of definite emotional intensity, but there's a clear direction given. It's not just about being swamped by these feelings. It's about actively engaging with them, maybe even leaning in a bit. The source mentions getting serious about finally moving beyond old aches. That really hits home. Suggests it's not a day for just, going over old ground again. It's about confronting past pain critically and actually transforming it. The cosmic lesson seems clear. Navigating these emotional waves isn't about dodging them. It's about conscious engagement, using that friction inside as fuel for, grounded wisdom.
That's a powerful way to think about it. Not avoiding, but engaging. Okay, so moving into midday, we hit the Cancer moon sextile the sun. Now, for anyone not super familiar, a sextile in astrology usually means a harmonious flow, an easy opportunity, kind of.
Right, a positive connection.
Yeah, between the planets involved. So here, this celestial dance seems to bring emotional harmony, a nice balance between our conscious goals and our inner needs. The advice here feels quite profound. Bring peace to domestic matters. Integrate professional ambitions with family responsibilities, making decisions that really honor both worlds, symbiotically.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture of the day, that midday energy, it's like a crucial window, a chance for alignment after that potential emotional surge in the morning.
Right.
This is where we can find a more centered space. It's about lining up our outer actions with our inner desires, making sure what we do for work or what we're striving for doesn't completely sacrifice our emotional well-being or our home life. It really pushes for that holistic view of ourselves, a chance to consciously knit together all those different threads of our lives into something more cohesive, more fulfilling.
But, don't get too comfortable in that harmony zone, because the afternoon brings a bit of a shakeup. Cancer moon square Mars. And a square aspect often points to tension, right? A challenge between planets that needs resolving.
Exactly, friction.
So in this case, it might show up as emotional irritability, or maybe a clash between our deep need for security, that Cancer moon thing, and that powerful assertive urge for action that Mars represents. So that lovely balance we just found. might feel a bit tested.
Which raises a really important question for us, doesn't it? How do we navigate that very real tension? A square isn't necessarily bad. It's dynamic. It often forces us to reconcile these opposing forces within ourselves. It highlights that classic human dilemma. Stay safe and secure in the comfort zone versus taking bold action, which Mars is pushing for growth. The key here is probably conscious awareness, recognizing why we might feel irritable, and maybe channeling that urge for action constructively rather than just, letting it turn into conflict or lashing out. Perhaps this is the moment where we acknowledge something has to shift, that internal friction. It's the catalyst.
Okay, so navigating that tension consciously. Got it. Then, as the day moves into evening, we get a welcome shift. Cancer Moon sextile Mercury, another sextile, so that harmonious aspect again, suggesting ease, opportunity. This really sounds like a breath of fresh air. Improving communication, especially around feelings, domestic stuff. After that potential afternoon friction, this feels like a good chance to clear the air, connect.
Indeed. It really indicates that while the afternoon might have brought some, let's say, sharp edges to our interactions or even just our internal state, the evening provides this natural opening to discuss what came up. It seems like an ideal time for those complicated conversations we mentioned earlier. But now, with the added benefit of clearer emotional expression, better understanding, it allows for resolution, connection. Makes it easier to actually say those underlying feelings that might have surfaced earlier.
And finally, as we head into the night, the Cancer Moon trines Saturn. This brings emotional maturity, the ability to make responsible decisions about home, family. A trine, like a sextile, means harmony, but often with this added layer of ease, grace, something that comes more naturally. Sounds like the perfect, grounded end to a day with so many emotional ups and downs.
That culmination is incredibly significant. It speaks directly to grounding and integration. After riding that emotional roller coaster from the initial surges, moments of harmony, then tension, then better communication, the trine to Saturn offers real stability. Deep stability. It's about applying wisdom to our emotional landscape, turning that introspection into solid, responsible choices. Choices that serve our long-term well-being and the well-being of people close to us. It suggests that the day, despite its challenges, can lead to real, lasting progress, a sense of emotional security. So that cosmic lesson again, conscious engagement, moving from that internal friction to grounded wisdom and ending up with a clearer path forward.
Okay, so that sets a really interesting stage. Now let's deepen this journey of self-discovery by bringing in the TarotScope for September 16th. And the card pulled today is the powerful Eight of Cups. Wow. Okay, right away the affirmation sets a profound tone. I honor the endings that bring me closer to my true path. I walk forward with trust, even into the unknown. This card is really all about turning away from what no longer serves us, isn't it? Turning inward, seeking something more authentic.
It absolutely is. And what's profoundly fascinating here is the core message. It's not really about loss in the usual sense. It's about consciously acknowledging when maybe something once cherished or something that looked impressive externally just doesn't nourish the spirit anymore. Imagine having 8 beautiful golden cups, symbols of achievement, satisfaction maybe, but realizing they've become hollow, drained of their real meaning for you. This card encourages a proactive choice. Leave behind what's depleted, even if it still looks good to other people. The real courage of the Eight of Cups isn't finding the new path immediately. It's having the faith to step away from the familiar one, even when the destination is completely unseen.
So it's not about just tossing things aside carelessly. It's a deep conscious recognition that the emotional or spiritual well has just run dry, honoring that quiet knowing inside that whispers, this isn't enough anymore. Now, even when you can't logically explain why, I think a lot of us have felt that whisper, haven't we? Even if we try hard to ignore it.
That's such a crucial point. And it raises that important question, how do we tell that whisper apart from just, impatience or fleeting dissatisfaction? The source material suggests it's a deeper truth signaling where energy leaks are. Think about an energy leak. Maybe it's that conversation you have over and over that always leaves you drained.
Oh, yeah.
Or a commitment you keep purely out of obligation, even though it gives you nothing back. Energetically. It's this profound call to alignment, urging us to step back from conversations, habits, relationships, even situations that, despite how they look, just don't resonate with who we're becoming. It's really about preserving your vital life force.
And what we leave behind, the sources say, isn't just creating an empty space. It actually opens up room for something more spiritually rich to come in. The catch, of course, is that we might not see what that is yet. That takes a huge amount of faith, trust in the process.
Precisely. And that trust is absolutely central to the Eight of Cups. It doesn't promise you'll get what you want right away or that the roadmap will suddenly appear all lit up. Instead, it offers this profound assurance that by creating space, by honoring those endings, we invite something truly nourishing, truly authentic into our lives. It's like a testament to the idea that sometimes the greatest act of self-love
Yeah.
and maybe the most powerful step towards future fulfillment is that brave act of letting go of what was. It's like the universe responding to the space we dare to create.
The TarotScope also gives some really practical, tangible advice for working with this energy. It encourages us to consciously notice where our energy leaks are, where they're signaling what needs releasing, and it suggests taking dedicated time for reflection, journaling, maybe even a personal ritual, to consciously mark what we're walking away from. Solitude, it says, can be our most powerful ally here, making our inner compass clearer amidst all the noise.
That connection to practical application is absolutely key. It's vital. This isn't just some philosophical idea, it's a directive for active self-care. That metaphor, energy leaks, it asks us to pay really close attention. What truly drains us versus what actually uplifts us? And suggesting reflection, journaling, ritual that reinforces this is a conscious, intentional process, not passive at all. Solitude gives us the quiet needed to actually hear that inner compass, to let those deeper truths surface without all the external distractions. This helps us truly commit to not looking back.
Yeah, to really bring this home, to see how these energies might play out in a real-life way. Let's turn to the story scope for the day. It's called The Path Beyond the Cups. This story introduces us to Amara. She's standing at the moonlit edge of the Nile, and beside her are 8 golden cups. Once symbols of triumphs, cherished friendships, dreams she'd woven so carefully. But tonight, they looked different. Their shine had dulled. They felt hollowed out by this quiet emptiness. Their promise for her had finally run dry.
Amara's experience just perfectly captures the essence of the Eight of Cups, doesn't it? She'd poured so much of herself into these things, yet they just didn't offer true fulfillment anymore. What's really compelling is how that quiet voice had apparently been whispering to her for months, a persistent intuition she'd actively ignored. Clinging to hope, maybe, that things would magically go back to how they were.
We do that.
Oh, absolutely. It speaks so powerfully to our very human tendency to cling to the familiar, to known comforts, even when they don't genuinely serve us anymore. But the silence of the night, it made pretending impossible for Amara. This really echoes that astrological insight about confronting old aches, doesn't it? Amara's at her own critical point.
And then the story brings in these beautiful, almost mystical elements. They seem to underscore her intuitive guidance. There's this sharp, herbaceous scent of mugwort drifting like smoke, a plant often linked to intuition, lunar magic. Then, a labradorite crystal at her feet, flashing with this mesmerizing blue-green fire. The crystal pulsed faintly, the story says, its silent message resonating deep inside her. Trust the path, even if you cannot see where it leads. It's almost like the universe itself is giving her the nod.
Yeah, these details aren't just pretty words. They symbolize the subtle yet potent guidance that is available when we finally tune in. Mugwort, like you said, deeply linked to intuition, divination, helping us see what's normally hidden. And labradorite. It's known as a stone of transformation, specifically enhancing intuition, offering protection during big changes.
Wow.
Their presence together really underscores this idea that Amara is getting deep, intuitive confirmation. The crystal's pulse is like a direct, energetic nudge to trust the unknown, echoing the Eight of Cups affirmation perfectly. It's saying, even without a map, you are being guided.
So Amara takes that brave step, that defining step. She breathes deep, gathers her resolve, and slowly turns her back on those 8 gleaming yet hollow cups. The story puts it beautifully. Each step away felt like tearing threads from a tapestry, unraveling a life she had meticulously woven, but she understood now that the tapestry was no longer meant for her. The unknown awaited her, dark, uncertain, yes, but undeniably filled with the exhilarating promise of truth.
And that line, tearing threads from a tapestry, it's incredibly powerful because it acknowledges the real pain, the effort, the sense of undoing involved when we let go of things deeply woven into our lives.
Right. It's not easy.
Not at all. It's not dismissive abandonment. It's a courageous act of conscious disentanglement, recognizing some stories just run their course. And the promise of truth, even facing darkness and uncertainty, highlights that authenticity. It's almost always found beyond our comfort zones, beyond what's easy or familiar. It's in those vulnerable moments that we really grow.
And as she walked into the deepening night, leaving her past behind, the air itself seemed to shift. The mugwort scent grew richer, more potent. The labradorite's glow, once faint, now became this warmer, guiding light, the cups. left behind, their golden light swallowed by the shadow, diminishing as she moved away. But ahead, the horizon shimmered, not with a clear path, no, but with infinite possibility. And that final, most poignant line, the culmination of her courage, Amara did not look back.
That refusal to look back, that's the ultimate embrace of the unknown, isn't it? It signifies complete, unwavering commitment to her chosen path, her new direction. The shifting air, the stronger sense, the brighter glow, they aren't just sensory details. They represent the profound energetic shifts that happen when we align with our true selves. When we make such a brave choice, what she leaves behind literally loses its power over her, gets swallowed by shadow. While the future, still uncertain, yeah, but it shimmers with this vibrant potential. Such a beautiful, resonant metaphor for moving from stagnation, maybe illusion, towards vibrant, authentic possibility. Amara's journey really reminds us that the most liberating act isn't just letting go, it's committing to not looking back, allowing those new possibilities to actually emerge from the space we've created.
So, okay, let's bring it all back home. Distill the wisdom for your day, September 16th, 2025. It truly looks like a day for potentially significant emotional shifts and profound personal realignment. We saw the astrological ebb and flow from surging emotions, potential afternoon friction, to better communication and responsible decisions later on, all leading towards grounded wisdom. The powerful message of the Eight of Cups urges us. Honor those endings that no longer feed your spirit. Bravely walk toward authenticity, even into the unknown. And Amura's journey by the Nile just paints this vivid, inspiring picture of that courage, reminding us that sometimes the most liberating, transformative act is simply not looking back.
Yeah, this deep dive has really offered us and you this rich tapestry of tools, tools for personal growth, conscious navigation. It reminds us to listen deeply to that quiet knowing inside, to acknowledge where maybe emotional fulfillment has just dried up. Even in situations that look good on the surface, we really encourage you to reflect on your own cups, which ones feel hollow, where those energy leaks may be subtly signaling a need for release, a shift in direction. We invite you, maybe take some dedicated time today for reflection, perhaps some honest journaling, or just seek out a moment of quiet solitude. What might those practices reveal to you about what's truly ready to be released?
And as you carry these insights forward, just remember the path Amara took. If the path beyond often feels dark and uncertain, think about this. What hidden possibilities might only reveal themselves once we finally gather the courage to truly not look back, allowing those new horizons to shimmer into being? We hope this deep dive has given you something really meaningful to consider and maybe apply on your own journey.